Oh, we got great games. Great games everywhere. First one, this will be for the Big Ten Championship. And who's not there? No Ohio State, no
Nope.
Michigan.
Yep.
Big Ten Championship. The Ducks, the Nittany Lions. This is going to be a showdown. Oregon unbeaten. Dylan Gabriel, 3,275 yards passing, 24 touchdown passes on the season. Lost in the conversation how good that running back Jacob James is. He's got 1,166 yards rushing. These guys are going to present a real challenge for Penn State's very athletic defense. Nittany Lions, this is the best collection of skill guys I think I've ever seen James Franklin have. Drew Alar, 18 touchdown passes, speed wide receivers, big running back in Nick Singleton, multi-purpose fullback, tight end, wide receiver Ty Warren, and a very fast defense. But there's a piece of history. James Franklin has hardly ever won any big game his Penn State team has been involved in. Doesn't beat Michigan or Ohio State very well against top 5 teams. Real tough to find victories. I just think Oregon's got too many guns on offense, but this will be good because Penn State got guys who can fly and who can run. Second game, Southeastern Conference. They don't like each other. Georgia, Texas. Carson Beck, top yardage quarterback in the country. 3,429 yards, 28 touchdowns. But dude throws picks. If he throws picks in this game, they're not going to win. But they're really good at Georgia. Start of the season, didn't do well, got upset along the way, but then came back. By the way, they did beat Texas very early in the season. Steve Sarkisian, he's got Quinn Ewers totally healthy. 2,300 yards, 24 touchdowns. He's got a running back that's gotten progressively better and better as they've gone along by the name of Quentin Wisner. Texas is tough, real tough. This is going to be the game of the day. Don't want to miss it. To me, the big question is, can they prevent Carson Beck from throwing picks? The weirdest game has to be in the ACC. SMU is in the ACC? Yeah, thank you. What a season they've had. 11-1. They're really good. Kevin Jennings is a quarterback nobody pays any attention to. He's got 2,800 yards throwing the football at SMU, 19 touchdowns, and a very balanced run offense. They're really dangerous. Clemson started slowly, and boy, have they rolled. They've done it with a young quarterback, Clint Klubnik, who people wanted out of the lineup after 2 weeks of the season. Klubnik has now thrown for 3,041 yards, 29 touchdowns, and that's a balanced run-throw football team. Clemson's not dangerous. I think SMU's run ends this weekend. And then the final one. This is the Big 12. This is Arizona State. This is Iowa State. What a job by Ken Dillingham. Second year with the Sun Devils, 10-2. He's got a big-time transfer quarterback, came from North Carolina State, Sammy Levitt, who's thrown 21 touchdown passes. He's got a running back who came from Sacramento State. Sacramento State, Big Sky Conference, 1AA, was never recruited. His name is Cam Skipo. He's got 1,400 yards rushing to complement everything Levitt does. Iowa State's got a quarterback who's won 17 games in 2 years. Iowa State's got 2,000-yard receivers this year. They just throw the ball down the field. This is going to be a fun game between two teams that nobody paid any attention to, didn't think they'd be in the playoffs race, but they are. Winner of that qualifies for the playoffs. And then there's the Mountain West Conference Championship game, where Boise State will try to continue this unbelievable roll. They're sitting there at 11-1. They get UNLV. You got the Heisman Trophy candidate, Ashton Genty, who's got 2,288 yards, pounding the ball this year with 28 touchdowns. They got Maddox Madsen, quarterback who's thrown for 21 touchdowns and only 3 picks. And their only loss was because of a field goal at the end of the game against Oregon on opening day. This Boise team is big time. And Vegas has come from nowhere. What a job Barry Odom has done, the former Arkansas coach. He's got Huck Malik Williams. He's got a big running game. He's got a couple of big play down the field wide receivers. These guys are 10-2, and the Rebels beat Kansas, and they beat the University of Houston when both those teams were upper echelon in the Big 12 Conference. So this is going to be a good game. But Boise is Boise, and Boise is loaded, and Boise's playing at home. Boise, UNLV for the Mountain West. So, John, those are marquee games on the Friday night schedule. Boise plays tonight, and on the Saturday schedule, don't miss any of these. What do you think?
Boise's tonight, right? Okay, good. So I look at this list, and the thing that jumps out to me is look at all those Pac-12 teams in there, and it's nice to see that our local teams here on the West Coast are making an impact in the Big Ten and the Big 12. But I've got a couple of questions. So first of all, why did Indiana not make the Big Ten championship?
Because they lost tiebreakers. They had one loss in the season, but because of tiebreakers, other people were rated higher than them. I mean, it was a traffic jam at the top, but Indiana got beat right at the end of the season.
Well, because, Indiana lost to Ohio State, but I guess Penn State had one loss as well. So, a tiebreak thing. It's weird, like you say, SMU on that list. I think of Eric Dickerson, and then I think of the death penalty. It's just bizarre to see them there, but what an accomplishment. Is SMU, do you think, has a chance to come to the Pac-12?
No, I think they're locked into the ACC, and they're getting a fair share of money, and they have unbelievable financial support, which allowed them to make the strange move. SMU, Southern Methodist in the Atlantic Coast Conference. How weird is that?
Very weird. The final comment I'm going to make is about Boise State. I've seen projections that they're going to get a first-round bye in this college football playoff. Is that how you see it?
If they win this game, they're automatically in, and they get the bye not only because they won the Mountain West Championship, but they get the bye because they're going to be ranked inside the top 10.
Nice.
And they're going to have a higher rating than whoever comes out of the Big 12 conference and a higher rating than anybody in the ACC in the polls.
Okay.
So that's why Boise's going to get a first-round bye.
Good for them. Yeah, that's good.
So all things college football, this is going to be fun. The playoffs start next week. No, they don't. They actually start tonight and tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. You got to play in to get in.
The implications are really significant. And Oregon, Penn State's going to be a fun game. And Georgia, Texas is going to be a war.
They already played each other once this year, didn't they?
Early in the season.
And
Georgia beat them.
Georgia won. Okay.
Well, that was early in the season.
Well, maybe some payback time.
We got it. Okay, we go from that next